I was toting my pack along the long, dusty Winnemucca Road when along came a semi with a high canvas-covered logo. "If you're going to Winnemucca, Mac, with me you can ride." And so I climbed into the cab and I settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen the road with so much dust and sand. And I said, "Listen, I've traveled every road in this land. I've been everywhere, man. Crossed the deserts bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere." It seems like everyone with a bucket list has travel on that list. For some, it's a desire to see the national parks of the US. For others, it's a trip to the land of their family's origin. Others wish to see exotic places and ancient wonders. What is it about travel that entices and entrances us? By examining poetry, I've Been Everywhere by Johnny Cash, Swallows to and Fro by Robert Louis Stevenson, and Song of Myself by Walt Whitman, and prose Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift, The Innocents Abroad by Mark Twain, and Dangerous by Shannon Hale. We will attempt to answer that question. This is I've Been Everywhere, a program about travel, because seeing the world is seeing ourselves. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Bangor, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Tocopillo, Pocatello, Amberdillo. I'm a killer. It's easy for us who've traveled into remote countries, which are seldom visited by Englishmen or other Europeans, to form descriptions of wonderful animals both at sea and land, whereas a traveler's chief aim should be to make men wiser and better, and to improve their minds by the bad, as well as good example of what they deliver concerning foreign places. I could heartily wish a law was enacted that every traveler, before he was permitted to publish his voyages, should be obliged to make an oath that all he intended to print was absolutely true to the best of his knowledge. For then, the world would no longer be deceived, as it usually is, while some writers, to make their works pass the better upon the public, impose the grossest falsities on the unwary reader. I have pursued several books of travels with my great delight in younger days, but having since gone over most parts of the globe, and having been able to contradict many fabulous accounts from mine own observation, it has given me great disgust against this part of my reading, and some indignation to see the credulity of mankind so impudently abused. Therefore, since my acquaintance were pleased to think my poor endeavors might not be acceptable in mine own country, I imposed on myself, as maxim never to be swerved from, that I would strictly adhere to the truth. Never indeed can I be ever under the least temptation to vary from it. I've been to Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana, Washington, Houston, Kingston, Turkana, Spirit Lake, Grand Lake, Devil's Lake, Crater Lake. For Pete's sake, let us wander where we will. Something kindred greets us still. Something seen on vale or hill falls familiar on our heart. So at scent or sound or sight, severed souls by day and night tremble with the same delight, tremble half the world apart. I've been to Louisville, Nashville, Knoxville, Honorback, Schererville, Jacksonville, Waterville, Coastal Rock, Idaho, Jellicoe, Argentina, Diamantina, Pasadena, Catalina. See what I mean? Wherever he went, in Europe, Asia, or Africa, we made a sensation. None of us had ever been anywhere before. Travel was a wild novelty to us. We always took care to make it understood that we were Americans. Americans! We found that a good many foreigners had hardly ever heard of America. The people of those foreign countries were very, very ignorant. They looked curiously at the costumes we had brought from the wilds of America. They observed that we talked loudly at the table sometimes. They noticed that we looked out for expenses and got what we conveniently took out of a franc, and wondered where in the mischief we came from. In Paris, they simply opened their eyes and stared when we spoke to them in French. We never did succeed in making those idiots understand their own language. The people stared at us everywhere, and we stared at them.
We generally made them feel rather small, too, before we got done with them, because we bore them down with America's greatness, until we crushed them. And yet we took kindly to the manners and customs, and especially to the fashions of the various people we visited. When we left the Azores, we wore awful capotes and used fine-toothed combs successfully. When we came back from Tangier in Africa, we were topped with fezzes of the bloodiest hue, hung with tassels like an Indian scalp lock. In France and Spain, we were attracted some attention in these costumes. We got no fresh raiment in Greece, but they had little there of any kind anyway. But at Constantinople, how we turned out! Turbans, scimitars, fezzes, horse pistols, tunics, sashes, baggy trousers, yellow slippers. Oh, they were gorgeous. I've been to Vicksburg, Parkersburg, Travelburg, Colorado, Ellsberg, Rexburg, Vicksburg, El Dorado, Larimore, Adamore, Havistock, Chandanok, Shasta, Nebraska, Alaska, Opelika, Baraboo, Waterloo, Kalamazoo, Kansas City, Sioux City, Cedar City, Dodge City. What a pity. Not I, not anyone else can travel that road for you. You must travel it for yourself. It is not far. It is within reach. Perhaps you have been on it since you were born and did not know. Perhaps it is everywhere, on water and on land. He rose so fast, in seconds the ocean waves looked like motionless, great expanse of cake frosting. Our bones felt too close together. Gravity would not let us go without a fight. I shut my eyes. I hugged my chest. I wondered if I was about to die. Then, everything turned off. The whole world. As if someone had hit the switch. I felt strange. Linked. Out the window, the sky was changed from summer moon to midnight. Really? I whispered. Really? I spent most of the trip staring at the planet and its misty glow. All those gas molecules drawn to Earth's gravity. Around its curve, we saw the white glow of sunlight. No atmosphere to trap the light and trick us into thinking the sun was yellow. No atmosphere to soak up and scatter the blue light. Fill the heavens with that safe robin egg hue. No tricks. Black space. White light. A place without ambiguity. I never understood before so clearly that we don't live in a Ziploc bag that kept in the air and out the freezing vacuum of the space. It seemed that the world was so vulnerable, precious. I wish I could explain better. NASA's next urgent mission should be to send good poets into space so they can describe what it's really like.